All right, my friends, we are going to start sharing our list of words. So I'm just going to go around the room and you are going to tell me a word. If you don't want to, or if all your words have been taken, you can just say pass. Yes? So when I come to you, you're just going to tell me a word that has not yet been said. And if all your words have been used, you can say pass. If you just don't want to talk to me, that's okay too. You can just say pass. All right? So what have we got, Yuna? Independent variable. Excellent. All right. Next, Joshua, what have we got? Sorry? Mass. Oh, what did you say? Math? Pass. Oh, you don't want to say mass?
I do now.
Okay, mass. Good. You have a whole list of words, man. You just don't want to talk to me. That's okay. I'm not offended.
I think I lost my log balls. And I know, like,
You can want to go look for it? Okay. All right. Haley.
Quadruple beam balance.
Quadruple beam balance. I'm just going to call it the quad beam balance, but you want to write quadruple, that's all good. Scientific method. Veronica. Controlled variable. Dylan. It's going to be your turn. Dylan, one of your words, please. Dependent variable, good. Max. Volume. Excellent. Ananya. Graduated cylinder. And I'm going to put a diamond beside that because you don't have to know that one, but it is nice. You get a little bonus if you know it. Yes. Asma. I know you weren't really, you were doing things, but if you've got one, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. Height. Yeah, sure. Evelyn. Burette. Eunice. Hypothesis. Excellent. Boys, you need to go sit so you're not talking while I'm talking. Okay. Guyan? Pass? That's okay. Micah? Newton. Excellent. Good. And we'll put our abbreviation in there as well. Okay. And Elias. Significant figures. Yes. Very good. Grace. Triple beam balance. I'm going to put that up here with the quad beam balance. Excellent, Nathan.
Initial volume.
Initial volume. And I'm going to put in brackets the abbreviation for that, which is a capital V with a little I down at the bottom. Brayden. Sorry?
Rain cloud.
I heard brain clamps, so I'm obviously ring clamps. Yes, thank you. I'm like, brain clamps cannot be the right thing. Although brain clamps would be interesting. Ring clamps. Thank you so much. Ring clamp. Davide. Qualitative observation. Kai. Temperature. Hayden. Uncertain digit. William. Okay, we've got initial volume. You could give me final volume. Yes. BF. Alper. Inquiry. Nice. All right, now before we go on to just an open forum where everybody gives me words that I haven't hit yet, that you have, let's go back and give some alternate names for a few things, because independent variable has another name. See if you can remind your partner what the other name for independent variable is. Alper. Manipulated variable. Excellent. And what's the concept that goes with mass but isn't mass? Weight. So we're going to add that one on. Okay. How about, yes? Controlled variable is constant. Yeah, okay. Something you keep constant. Yep. What's the other word we use for dependent variable? Yes? Yes, you may go to the washroom, although that's not what it's called. Alper? Responding variable, yes. All right, and now I'm just going to open it up to anybody who has a vocabulary word that you haven't seen up here yet. So we have independent variable, mass, quad beam balance, scientific method, controlled variable, dependent variable, volume, graduated cylinder height, burette, hypothesis, Newton, significant figures, initial volume, ring clamp, qualitative observation, temperature, uncertain digit, final volume, inquiry, and weight. Yes? Quantity. Yes. Inference, yes. Yeah? Spring scale. Yeah. Kilopascals. I'll put a diamond on that one. Yes. Sorry? Hypothesis. I think we actually got that one. Yeah, we did. Anyone got anything else? Yes. Sorry? Particle. Oh, I like that. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about particles soon. That'll be our chemistry unit. Yes. Kelvin. Kelvin is a way of measuring temperature. The size of a degree is the same size as a degree Celsius. Yes? But 0 degrees Celsius, what happens at 0 degrees Celsius? Why did we pick that temperature to be 0? Yep. It's where water freezes. Now, Kelvin doesn't start at where water freezes as 0. Okay? Does anyone know where it starts? It's when all atoms stop moving. So there's no motion left at all. Okay, so the warmer particles are, the more motion there is. So it's when they have no motion whatsoever, and that is called absolute 0. Okay, so 0 Kelvin is absolute 0. All right, and if you go to 273 Kelvin, that's 0 degrees Celsius. So absolute 0 in Celsius is negative 273 Celsius, is 0 Kelvin. All right, anything else we got? Yeah. Photosynthesis. Anything else? Yeah. Procedure. Excellent. Yeah. Gravity. Mm-hmm. Constants. Yes. Oh, and you know what we're missing? We have the independent variable. We have the dependent variable. We have the controlled variable. And then we're supposed to have a something or other group, a control group. Now, just before we carry on, I wanted to see if you know the difference between a controlled variable and a control group. So have a chat with your neighbor and see if you know the difference or if you don't know the difference. Okay? What's the difference?
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, does anyone feel that they've got a decent understanding of it and would like to share that, or are we puzzled? Yes? Yep. Yes. Okay, so the controlled variable, basically what you've got in an experiment is you have your control group, which is one group of things, and then you have the opposite of the controller. Well, not the opposite, but the other groups are called experimental groups. Okay, so the control group is the one group where everything is as natural as possible. It's the group that doesn't receive any treatment. Oh, by the way, have you guys figured out that this is the letter T? Right here. I meant to mention it to you earlier because I realized on your quizzes I was writing that as the letter T because like I learned, cursive. Yes? And I still use that for the letter T a lot, but I didn't mention it. So if you ever see that weird looking thing, that's a letter T. Okay? So if you're like, I don't know what that is, that's a letter T. Okay. The control group is the group that does not receive whatever treatment you're looking at. Okay, so I want you to think about that. Think about that for control group. Now, the other thing is that you should know that control group is also known as plain control. And you know what? I'm noticing right now that the people who are getting the highest marks in my class are writing this down. Oh, shocking, right? So, now, if you're like, I would like to write this down, but I don't write very fast and it's very frustrating for me, you can ask me for a printout of this later, okay? Pardon me? Yeah, fair enough. Now, the experimental groups, I'll wait for you to write. That way you don't have to listen and write at the same time. Well, that was super quick.
Sorry.
And I was just saying, if you want to print out of this later, if anyone wants it, I can do that. Okay. Yeah. So that's our control group. What is an experimental group? The control group does not receive the treatment. What about the experimental group? Yeah, the experimental group receives whatever our independent variable is that we're testing. Yeah, that's fine. Pardon me? Homework is 73. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to say? Do we have to just have one experimental group or could we have multiple experimental groups? We can have multiple, right? If you're testing different fertilizers, right? Each experimental group could have a different fertilizer or plant food, right? You could have plant food A, plant food B, plant food C, and those would be your experimental groups. You would have 3 of them. What would the control group be if we were testing different plant foods? Yeah. A pot with no plant food, okay? So that's our experimental groups. You can have more than one. So for example, plant food A, plant food B, and plant food C. And our control would be no plant food. If this were our experiment, I'll wait for you to finish writing, sorry. If this were our experiment, what would the independent variable be in this experiment? Tell your partner, what would the independent variable be in this experiment? The independent variable is like the treatment.
Yeah, so
It's what you're testing.
yeah,
So in this little experiment with our plants and our plant food, what would be the independent variable? It's what we're testing. What are we testing? Type of plant food. Yes? What would be our dependent variable? Yes? Yeah. How fast the plant grows. So we have our control group that gets no plant food. We have the experimental groups that get different types of plant food. So we're testing the plant food and we're seeing how it affects how fast the plant grows. So the independent variable is what we're testing and the dependent variable is what we see happen as a result. What are some things that we could control? What are some controlled variables that we should have? Tell your partner. What are some things that we should keep the same for all plants? Water, amount of water, yes. Type of plant, yes. The environment, yes.
environment would cover sunlight, right?
Yeah, that would cover sunlight. I'll just put light, because maybe we've got like a grow lamp or just regular incandescent light inside or whatever. Time.
You're not doing the light.
Yeah, like not doing one in the winter and one in the summer or whatever. Yeah, so you're doing them at the same time of year. Yeah? Oh. Temperature? It would probably fall under environment, but I'm going to write it down anyway. Okay, so those are the main ideas. Okay. And what I would like you to do is to finish up page 73. Now, on page 73, everyone misses question 2, which is at the very bottom of the page. Do not miss question 2. So your homework? Do page 73. Remember question 2 at the bottom of the page. And 3. 2 and 3 at the bottom of the page. You feeling better? Good. Pardon me? But better. Yeah.
And people talk about classes. And it's just you're sick. It can. So right now. Yeah. Up and down. Yeah. I think that. Something. You could like or something. Yeah, we'll look like science. We'll be like, ow, eager, like.